All right, guys, welcome back. And today's episode is probably not going to be a long one, but it's one I've been wanting to do for a long time. I want to make that an actual shifter cart. Right now, it's just got a Predator 212 with upgraded valve springs, an upgrade, a Mikuni carb, an exhaust, and a 3D Motorsports manual clutch. I do have gas, brake, and clutch pedals on here, so putting the new engine on it, having that already done is great. I'm glad I did that. I knew I was going to do a shifter, an actual shifter cart at some point. I just didn't know when, but today's the day that I want to start that and get that rolling. I don't know how far I'm going to get. I want to get the Predator out and maybe start mocking up the cr80 engine and figure out how I'm going to put it, see if I have to get stock or mounts or something. I do want this to be relatively nice. My plan is to mock up the motor, then rip everything back down and paint everything and make it acceptable. I like the way nice things look. So hopefully I can get that done, and we're gonna go ahead and dive right on into this. All right. Okay, got the old engine out. It's right here sitting on the ground now. And here is the new engine. This is a Honda cr80. It is a two-stroke. As far as I know, the only thing that was done was V-Force 3 reeds in here. But that's all. And this FMF, told it's an FMF pipe. It does have an MSD blaster coil off of a car. I might change that back to what it's supposed to be, but it does run like this, as you guys may have seen in the last video. But now I want to try something. I want to see how much the Predator weighs and how much the cr80 weighs, just to see if I'm going to lose any weight and maybe make it a little bit faster. All right, let's see what happens. 38.8 pounds. So that does have some gas in it, maybe half a tank in there, not much. And it does have the 3D Motorsports clutch on it. So that's what that weighs, 38.8. So let's weigh the cr80, which I have a funny feeling is going to be heavier. So we'll see. I don't know if you guys caught that before it went away, but it was 38.9 pounds. So they're very similar in weight. I'm actually shocked. Lifting it, I thought the cr80 was going to be heavier. But that being said, though, I did take off this coil. There's a little bit of weight there. So, I mean, overall, the cr80 is heavier than the 212, but it doesn't seem like it's by much. So I probably won't even notice it on here. Like I said, it's not going to be a professionally used card, just for me tooling around the neighborhood and beating up on Justin and other friends. But so there we go. So I've got the engine off. Now I want to start mocking up what I'm going to do for this one. So the old Predator setup I had these mounts on it, and one sat here and one sat here, and it was angled, and it worked well for that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the same thing with the cr80. I would like to, but we'll see what happens. So let's I'm going to disconnect the coolant lines just to make it easier to work with. Get rid of the radiator for now. I'm probably going to change the radiator anyway. This one looks kind of janky, a little messed up. So anyway, do that, and then we'll see what happens next. Okay, so I tear the engine down a little bit more, got the radiator off, got a couple of other things off of here, just cleaned up so it's a little easier to work with. All right, so from everything that I've seen, when you mount the motor, well, at least in the bike, the Honda logo is level when it's in the bike. So that's my goal, is to try to set it up like that, because I know it works like that, so I might as well just copy the guys who originally did it. I think that's going to be my plan. Now, I think I want to keep it up a little bit to have access to that drain plug, so you don't have to pull the engine every time you want to change fluid and whatnot. Not that that happens a lot or ever. So I don't know. I want to do a little research and see if I should just put a plate on here or what. I don't know. But we'll do a little research. We'll figure that out. All right, guys. So I have been racking my brain trying to figure out how I want to mount the cr80 into the go-kart. I've been looking online, seeing what other people did and whatnot, and they do sell brackets. I mean, full engine mounts that mount a cr80 to a shifter kart frame. They are $225. I'm not doing that. So what my plan is to make a mount that's just out of angle iron. I'll show you. This is what I want to use. Just this. What did I buy? 1.25" by 1.25" angle iron. And I'm just going to make U-shaped things that come down from here to the frame and attach, and then also in the back come down and attach. And that'll put basically the center line, this right here, right in between these two rails, and that should work fine. I have room to move this sprocket over, so that's not going to be an issue. So I think that's my plan. So I want to get welding, cutting, welding, and all that nonsense. So let's see what happens. I'll get into it and start cutting. We'll see. So I think I've got a plan. I think this is what I'm going to go with. This is the bracket I just cut up and welded, and not bad. Welds aren't great, but you know, they're pretty good for me, and using a Harbor Freight TIG welder. So that is going to mount in this range, and the only thing I'm undecided on if I'm going to do is offset these and bend them in, so it's just a more finished look. So I'll figure all that out. But my plan is I'm going to weld on a captive nut on this hole right there, and then I'll do it. You know what? Let me take the engine down and I'll show you my plan. All right. But first, I want to show you something that I use all the time, and it really came in handy for this. If you need to like hold something up that's, you know, kind of awkward, and you don't really have blocks of wood that fit, and you don't need to cut anything, this air shim works awesome. I use these all the time at work, and they're great. So just, if you're looking for a cheap, useful tool to have in your garage, that's one of them. All right, let me pull the engine, put it down on the ground, and I'll show you my plan. All right, so you can buy these, I think they're called butterfly mounts, but they just go underneath, and they're low profile. The bolt goes up inside the hole, so you don't have to worry about catching it because the cart is very low. So my plan is to weld a captive nut on here. That will sit like that, and then sandwich together like so. I think, now that I'm looking at this, after I weld the captive nut on, I might plate this back side just to keep this from bowing when I tighten it. Because I noticed on my previous homemade bracket that I rigged up real quick, it bent. That's 3/16 plate. So I think that's the plan. But I think that's going to do it for tonight, and I will come back to this, I don't know, tomorrow, Tuesday, I don't know. It's Sunday night. I gotta get up at 5, so I'll see you guys when I pick this back up again. All right, guys, it's a new day here in the garage. I'm gonna get started on making the rear engine mount for the cr80, and yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into it. All right, here we go. Okay, it's mounted. I'm hoping this works. I don't know how it's gonna go. We'll see, but it's all mounted up and bolted in place and everything. And then from underneath, this is what it looks like underneath. Just those butterfly clamps. So hopefully it doesn't twist on me or anything as I'm driving it, but I think it'll be fine, and I can still get at that drain plug from the front if I need to. So I think that's gonna work. So next, I don't know what's next, but when I do it, you guys will see it back here on Compound Racing. So thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.